This is Feed Your Mind, and so I find it interesting how many Christians are beginning to sound the alarm. Sounds like the watchers are beginning to proclaim that we could have actually experienced the conclusion of this world beginning with the announcement of the Ukrainian-Russian war. There's been several Christians that have been coming out and now saying that they're thinking this is it. They think this is the big announcement that is going to just keep going and going until we witness the conclusion of this system, the way things are now. And that when that announcement was made, it's going to just continue to develop into a conflict where nation will rise against nation. Now, I know some people are saying like it's all staged and stuff, but look, the thing is, whether it is or not, whether it's legitimate or if it's staged, it doesn't matter. Because when the leaders who are in control of these countries like Ukraine and Russia and all the countries, when all these leaders decide to do something, that's when things happen. When they decided that there was an invisible thing going around, that's what happened. That's what it was. Whether or not you believed it was real or not didn't matter. There was changes had taken place and happening. So with this whole thing going on with Russia, and if China gets involved, or they're saying the rumor is China might invade Taiwan. So there's rumors of wars, and whether or not this is real or not, that's a rumor, or if it's real, then it's real. So there's wars and rumors of wars, and like I said, it comes down to the leaders of each country declaring a war, and that's all it takes. And then things change. They can even initiate a draft, and who knows how old this draft will go up into. Some people say in Ukraine there was a draft. I'm not sure about that, but and I'm hearing some ages like they're taking all men up until like 60 or something. So who knows what would happen if there's a world war? And that would become a real thing when a country commands their people to go against another country for the interest of the state. That's your time to that's a call to arms. And at that point, if you resist the call to arms, if you reject it, you're either going to have to flee or be imprisoned if there's a draft, depending on how old you are and if you get drafted. But that would be the point where you would have to make that decision. And it looks like something like that had actually happened in the past a couple times during the wars. There's world wars before it. I was hearing about drafts where people were just living their life, and they have to leave their spouse, they have to leave their significant other and head off into battle. And who knows if they return. It's like a great sacrifice going on when these wars take place. And they say that, well, basically there's a force on this earth that makes sure that wars happen every once in a while, it sounds like. And this next war, though, that's coming up, it sounds like this could be the war of all wars, if this is actually a biblical end time thing going on. The Bible warned us about this stuff. So it looks like, well, we definitely saw evidence of these wars taking place in the past. And then things went back to normal after that, like we have right now. here in the 2022 where everything seems to be like, well, it's not perfect, but it's not exactly World War II or III or IV or anything like that. So it's some form of normalcy where you can, live fairly comfortable if you play your cards right. But if there becomes a time when they're calling on people to, calling on civilians to take up arms and fight against another country, and the other country is doing the same thing, it's the leaders, while the leaders are sitting comfortable in their bunkers or wherever they're calling shots from, they have all the people go out and battle against each other. And we're not at a point of civilization where that doesn't happen. What causes wars? Like what is so serious that you would ever, well, it's not like they're the ones picking up arms. The leaders, they're safe in their bunker, but they have the audacity to call on their civilians to battle against other countries. And people go for it because that's what people do. They take orders. They're order takers. Most people. It seems like, I would guess, 60 to 70% of the people of most countries, well, at least America, is. I think they're pretty much order followers, and they would jump. If they say, if the state says jump, they would say how high, and they would pick up arms and start going at other human beings because they had the call to do so in the name of their country. And so what would you do out there? Would you go to, if you were drafted, would you go? Or would you flee? Where would you flee to, That's the type of stuff that Stan from the Prophecy Club was saying is on the way. I'll leave a link to his video that he released not too long ago, and you can hear his take on everything that he thinks that is going on right now. He thinks this could lead up to the actual Battle of Armageddon. So basically, was the Battle of Armageddon declared like a month ago, basically, starting with what starts off as a skirmish between Ukraine and Russia unfolds, and he's basically saying Russia, after they storm through Ukraine, they're going to start storming through other countries until eventually, if they start interfering with a NATO country or something, then it's going to get popping, and that's going to escalate pretty quickly from there. Now, look, I'm not saying I don't know what's going to happen. Look, we're going to just have to observe. I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to the mainstream information too much. I've been catching some alternative information like this, like the stuff I'm talking about right now. I've been catching that stuff a few times, maybe a couple times a week or so, just kind of keeping posted on what's going on. I am still keeping track of what's going on through the mainstream too, because I got to look at all sources of information and put it all together. So I'm keeping my ears open and eyes open and paying attention. I'm not too wound up right now personally, but I've been hearing a different take on this whole thing from like people of God and and people from that realm, people that really have this, they study the prophecies and stuff. I've been hearing kind of a different reaction from them. They're taking this a lot more serious than I have so far. So I don't know, what do you got? How are you guys taking on this? Do you think it's going to escalate, or do you think it's going to build up to something more? Do you think we'll just have to wait and see, or do you think it's going to be a nothing burger? If you ask me, I'm on the fence still. I'm almost leaning a little towards nothing burger, just how things look right now. But I know things could change, and I've been paying attention to. I'm not dismissing what these people, these Christian pastors and stuff have been saying, and other people as well, that they're a little more concerned. I'm not dismissing that. I'm just saying, as far as right now, it just really, to me, it doesn't look too severe. But I'm definitely paying attention. That's for sure. And I'm still on the fence, I suppose, as to. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to start kind of taking precautions and getting some plans in order possibly. I think, like we discussed earlier, at least figure out if there is a draft, are what's your plan then? What's your plan then? Do you take up arms and go against your fellow man, or do you go sit in a cell somewhere for not obeying, for not complying, or do you take off somewhere? So look, like I said, I'm gonna leave a link to this Prophecy Club episode, so you can check it out in the comment section in the description box. I also leave a link if you'd like to support this channel. I'm accepting $1 donations. It helps keep things going over here at Feed Your Mind, because they try to silence my information. So the listener support helps me keep going. It's just like leaving your waiter a tip. Also, I'll leave a link to my social media and my other channel. I'm gonna be over there at Feed Your Mind too, dropping other videos as well. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Feed Your Mind signing off.